Radio.
Hi everybody, how are you today? It is episode 101
Woo!
of Draw With Me Kids, and we're going to celebrate Earth Day.
Yeah.
Yay! We're going to draw little tiny Earths, and you can put whatever countries you want, or maybe even make up your own planets if you'd like, and help protect them.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk a little bit about what you can do with things around the house to make art and to make continuing doing your art good for the earth too, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so grab your pens,
And pencils,
papers,
erasers.
and let's go!
Woo!
One of the things we always want you guys to know is if you don't have a sketchbook or access to pieces of paper really handy wherever you are, you don't have to use something that's pristine and clean on both sides. You can have something that we call goose paper, good on one side. And that means that you're not recycling something immediately, but I have my bin of paper that I use, and whenever I'm looking for a sketch page, I see what I've got. Like here, this is a good piece of paper that I can practice some painting on or doing a drawing on. It's I used it for teas, and so I just grab one of these guys and see what I've got in my recycling bin and use that for doing sketches or new paintings or new ideas. And Miss Rainbows, since the beginning, has usually taken, if the paper's thick enough, taken the page and then drawn on the back of it, so that we can always save paper. So that's a good thing. If you have a piece of art that's particularly special to you, you can save it and frame it, or scan it in, or take a picture and then flip it on the other side to use it too. There's so many ways you can do that just from your using a piece of paper in a more responsible way for the planet.
I'm going to make a map of Bulgaria from one of my favorite games.
You're gonna make a map of Bulgaria. Okay, sounds good to me. I'm gonna do a little globe, which is a really easy shape, guys and gals. Really easy shape to do. It's just a circle, and you can put any planet, or rather any planet. You could do any planet you wanted to, but if you want to do an Earth, you can do any country you want in the front. You could do even Antarctica, because we're a spherical shape, which means we're a big circle. And here we go. I'm just going to do my big circle. It's okay if it's a little not circly. I mean, I could do a perfect circle using my tools. I don't really feel like it today.
I want a compass, which is a tool that...
Yes, you could use a compass. I have a
have this paper.
I have a really big compass.
You have a really big compass?
Yeah, I do.
You have to show me that after the stream.
I have a really big compass. It is, is it over here that I can grab it really quickly? Not easily, no. It's kind of buried in all my stuff. Oh, here it is. Take that back.
Whoa!
This is my really big compass. I have another piece that goes on the other end, and you pop it in there, and then you can do big circles on canvases.
I have a friend who has a small one. That's cool.
I also have a small one in my drawer, my supply drawer. Anyway,
You never told me you actually had a compass.
I'm an artist. I got all kinds of tools.
Should have thought of that.
Well, usually the other thing that I do, if you want to draw an earth or a round shape, you can take things like, that's got a round shape on it. I could put that down and trace it. That would help me get a round shape. It's kind of hard to do on my screen, which is on an angle. You can take a margarine tub container. So if you have a margarine tub that's a plastic tub and you're recycling it, wash it out really well. You could use that as a circle to trace things. So you can use all kinds of stuff. So, the Earth it's just a big circle. So any planet that you create, or any place that you create, you can start off with a circle. And I'm going to do, well, let's see. Typically, when you see a globe, because we're in North America, well, we're in North America, you often see North America as the center. But you could see all kinds of places as the center. Like you could see, maybe you could see Africa, which is, how would we do an Africa shape? A little bit of a thicker triangle down here. It's all kind of rounded. And it kind of ends a bit like this. And then it goes into the next country, which is right here. So yeah, you could start with Europe, which it has a little bit of a loop, like Italy there. And do something like that. And start with that part.
Nice.
So yeah, you can do, so there's how you would do if you're focusing on Africa as a continent. If you want to do Canada, because we live in Canada, so North America, you sort of do, I think we need to put the Hudson Bay in there, so you would do sort of Hudson Bay. It doesn't quite go up as much, but you got Baffin Island here. It looks a little bit like a neat little dog thing. This is hard. Like a little animal there. I love how this is, you know what I'm going to do? And yeah, let's get everything on board here. Get all my pieces on board here. And so Baffin Island sort of has this little, like it's a little neat thing there. Got a little, might see Greenland here. We've got Labrador, Newfoundland might come up here. You sort of want to give the impression of, hello, you're over here, you want to see that? I want to see that. And then British Columbia. We sort of come in like that. We've got the Great Lakes sort of there. I really made Canada huge. Canada's huge on my map. Canada's huge. Canada is large in landmass, but not that much. And then the United States. And then you might, because we're doing this from a different angle, might see a little bit of South America. This is a very weird shape for North America. Sorry.
It's a very long, straight line. And it's
weird.
Wide.
I did better with that one.
It's quite wide.
Yeah, I didn't make a very good North America. That's okay.
I feel like
I got very excited to draw Baffin Island as an animal shape. And that kind of went from there. You kind of want to do something because you're not going to see everything right up close, so you want to sort of think general shapes. General shapes. So let's try that again. So we know that we got Hudson Bay there, and go sort of like that, and we got our Newfoundland would be about there and a little smaller, and yeah, I'm still making it too big. North America sort of has this sort of shape to it, like a triangle that has a curve to it, and then Mexico's got this neat little whoop tail part to it that goes into South America. So this is very like the Arctic centric. Anyway.
I see the map.
So that's really what all it takes to make a globe is to think that this is a circle, and whatever landmass you're drawing, Canada, maybe you want to do a map that has Europe in the center, so you can focus on Germany or France, or maybe you want to focus on Ukraine because you've heard a lot about that in the news. Maybe you want to focus on China because you've been interested in knowing what the Great Wall looks like, or any country, any continent you can put in the middle of your globe and think about, as we talked about spheres, that everything sort of travels in curves around it. So if you're doing lines, to give it that three-dimensional look. So if you wanted to create your own land masses, your own planet, maybe you'll see an habitable planet, because we don't see too many land masses. There isn't water on our planets in our solar system. Maybe you want to draw different shapes that you could identify. Like maybe there's a heart-shaped continent on your planet. And as long as, it might not be recognizable as the globe or the Earth, when you're drawing a cartoon version of the Earth, and maybe you're thinking of Earth Day, you can sort of start making things look a little bit like Earth that you're thinking of, but you can then use your colors, your greens and your blues, and it might not look geographically correct, but suddenly putting green, it's almost blue. You guys can tell me if that's not true though, because I'm working with green and blue, and sometimes I get a little confused.
It is sort of turquoise.
It is sort of turquoise. I'm not crazy. Good. And what I love about seeing the planet Earth from space, maybe I'll do this just a little bit. What I like about seeing planet Earth from space, and what it makes me think for Earth Day, is just how connected we all are. We might have different ways of doing things or different beliefs, but we all live in the same planet, in the same big chunk of rock with water that we, need to survive. You can see different biomes on our planet, using a Minecraft term. See how that's sort of suddenly just putting the blue, the water, and the green, and you can start to think, oh, is this Earth? Because that's the image we now have of our planet. Is there's green masses that are the main continents, and blue for the water. What did you guys do for Earth Day? What we did was to go out and clean up around Miss Rainbow's school. We helped pick up things that shouldn't be in the street, and we helped, or not the street, but on the playground and things in surrounding area. Maybe we have a little desert over here you can sort of see from space. And maybe we have a little lake. Like the Great Lakes is just so large you can see it from space. And it's like got a bow tie. I like how Bulgaria, because the map that Miss Rainbows is doing, Bulgaria is a country that is run by different insects in the game. It's a sort of video game, fantasy role-playing video game. And you take these heroes through this land that is actually somebody's backyard by the looks of it.
Well, there's no actual people. Everybody's moved out of the house.
Yeah, like an abandoned lot. So there's like everything from a sand box that...
Which is the desert. It's the lost sands. Sandbox.
Yeah, and it's broken and run down and...
There's a puddle, which is the lake.
Yeah.
There's
What's this in it?
That's a river prison.
Oh, so it's the tire swing.
Yeah.
Tire swing that's fallen in the river or in the pond. And then there's eventually off the map that Miss Rainbows is making. There's this what's called the Deadlands. Is it called the Deadlands?
It's more where the fog is over here.
Yeah.
It's the Deadlands.
And
where the house is. It's the house on the inside.
Yeah, so it's the house, and it's like the shed or whatever where people are.
It's the house because you fight the boss on the dinner table.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well that's right, because there's even like a stove that you can.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to cover there's Europe. It's kind of hard to believe when you look at Europe how many different countries are in that little space of the continent and how many people live in that space of the continent. Whereas if you think of like here in Canada, we have, I think, I'm going to get this wrong. My geography is pretty bad, and I can look it up and verify for you, but I think we're the second largest landmass. I think we're the second largest. That would be a good trivia question. That'd be a good trivia question, wouldn't it? We are the second largest landmass, 9.1 million square kilometers. Second largest country in the world. We're bigger than the United States of Canada. United States of America. It's the United States of Canada. What am I saying? By only about 1%. But we're bigger than the United States. Canada is the second largest in landmass in the world. But where do we rank as far as numbers of citizens? We got a little bit of snow in it. Where do we rank as far as number of citizens? Do we rank top 10? Do we rank 20 to 30? Or do we rank lower than that? Do we rank in the top 10 for population in the world? Do we rank, I guess we'll say 10 to 30 because that makes a better glance, or lower than 30 on the scale of countries? Population. Did that make sense, Sophia? Did that make sense, Miss Rainbows? Or am I going to have to rephrase that? What world ranking do we have? Between 1 and 10, between 10 and 30, or 30 onward? There we go. That'll be my trivia question. Oops. I'm giving a weird color here to Africa, but that's okay. I like greens. I like greens. A little bit of desert. It's probably more than just a little bit. A little white for Antarctica. I think what I'm going to do with this planet is I'm going to change it a little bit and add some stuff. I'm going to put little hands around it. Like we're giving the planet a big old hug.
Aww.
And you go purple, because I like purple. Purple hands. Purple hands around the planet. So do you want to take a guess, Ms. Rainbows? What ranking do we have as far as population? If we're the second biggest landmass in the world, what's our population like?
A lot of Canada is frozen tundra, though.
True. Canada is a lot of frozen tundra. That's accurate. That's accurate. So you don't think 1 to 10?
I don't think 1 to 10.
Do you think 10 to 30?
I feel like I've looked at this before. It's definitely not 1 to 10, I can tell you that. Why is the hair dryer here?
To dry my paintings as I paint. It's quicker than waiting.
I can move the paint.
You can. So you have to be very careful when you do it. This is me giving the world a big hug. The answer is, actually, we rank 39th in the world, so C. We are 39th in the world for population. We make up 0.38% of the world population.
Not even a full percent.
About 40 million people.
Not even 1%.
Not even 1% of the population. And that the majority of us live within 250 kilometers of the U.S. border. In the temperate zones.
Mm-hmm.
So 90% of us actually live within.
Are we not part of that 90%?
Yeah. We have a border crossing about I'd say about 150 kilometers away. Maybe 2. Yeah. Sorry for a little discombobulated today. We intended to do Earth Day today, and then we were going to do something else, which is going to be another day. We're going to do that, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. Why is it? Are you kidding? I know what it is. Because I drew with white pen before I got everything set up. And we'll go back in here and do this. Discombobulated means I'm feeling slightly out of sorts and mixed up and confused. Every which way. I just realized I used a big word and didn't explain what it was. For some of our friends might be a little bit Oh, Miss Rainbows always corrects me on my vocabulary.
I missed it.
So if Canada is I'm just looking it up. All right, I'm just looking it up because I'm curious about this. All right, so if we are only, I think we asked this question in one of our things, so maybe this will be a good one for friends who have watched us. If Canada is the second largest landmass and we are only 39th population in the world, what amount of waste, so garbage, this is bringing us back to Earth Day, what amount of waste or garbage per person are we responsible for producing? Are we among the top countries of the world? Top 100, or sorry, top 1 to 10 countries in the world for being good recyclers and waste admission? Are we in the middle, or are we one of the worst? Do we produce more waste than anybody? Do we produce about the same as everybody, or do we produce less than anybody? How's that? I'll do it in that order. So A, are we one of the worst? We produce more than everybody. B, we're about the same as everybody. Or C, we produce less than anybody. Where does Canada rank on the amount of waste that we put out into the world? What do you think, Miss Rainbows?
I don't know.
I think we had this question once before. We might have had this question once before. So there, I've got that, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a little tricky thing, which if you have a paintbrush and you cover up your surface very, very well, and you have paint, white paint, you can do this too, but it is messy. Make sure that if you're going to do this, my friends, ask your parents or ask the people that you live with if it's okay, because sometimes making a mess just anywhere is not a good thing. But what you can do to make, I'm going to use fairy dust, make stars, is take a brush, and let me see if I can reach mine. I do, since I do mostly smaller paintings, I take a toothbrush, an old toothbrush. I boil it in water so all my germies are off of the edge, but it's no longer good for my teeth because it's all spread out. So I take an old toothbrush of mine, I've boiled it and bleached it to make sure that all my germs are off of it. And I use it now for painting. And I put white paint on it and flick it like that on my painting. So you can sort of see all the paint stains on it. You don't take a toothbrush, don't take a toothbrush that you've been using and then start using it on paint and then give it to somebody. That would be bad because then you're giving your germs from your toothbrush. You always make sure you clean the toothbrush really well. Like you could use boiling water and vinegar. It would be very good for it, but I wanted to make extra special sure that this was not going to be. But I didn't want to throw my toothbrush out. That's a lot of plastic. So I use it as a paintbrush. So yes, you can take it and then you'll get sort of an effect like, am I Actually, yeah, you sort of get an effect a bit like this. In fact, I don't really like this one. Well, here, let's just do. So you sort of get little dots kind of come out like that. Sort of splish splash, and there'll be different sizes and different weights, and that'll look more like stars or snow. You can also get a fresh toothbrush too, but it kind of defeats the purpose of keeping things out of the landfill. So the answer to our question, where does Canada rank as far as the amount of waste we produce per person? Are we one of the worst? Are we about the same as everybody else? Or are we one of the best? Like, do we produce the least amount of waste? Canada is the worst in G7 countries. We produce the most waste per capita, per person, than any other country. We generate approximately 31 million tons of waste in a year. Yeah, 31 million tons of garbage in a year, TONNES, so metric tons, and recycle only 30% of that material. Each Canadian generates 2.7 kilograms of garbage each day. Can you imagine that?
Mm.
Americans, to give you an idea, produce 2 kilograms of solid waste per day. Yep. %55 of the American waste is considered residential garbage. So I know our big companies and industries need to do some improvements on reusable materials, making recycling affordable, and that kind of thing. But we're discovering that residential waste is up there too, almost half of it. Not to depress anybody, especially if you want to make a difference or you want to change things. Do the little things that you can change. Find the things in your house you can do to help. I'm going to do some boop. I don't like using this brush as much because it just makes 3 little dots like that, so it's not that brush doesn't really work very well. So find the things you can do. So in your artwork, as we said, reuse the backs of your sketch pages. Are you almost done? Are you done your thing? Almost. Use your back of your sketch pads. Use other materials around the house after cleaning them as tools to help you draw circles, or even use the cardboard on from your recycling. I think I showed you guys this last year for Earth Day, but I use containers. So this is an old container that I've washed out, and then I've used tape to decorate it and turn it into something that I keep some of my tools in. Miss Rainbow's made me and herself a little container out of a toilet paper roll. I use mugs that are broken or can't hold things to hold my stuff. So I've got all these little receptacles around that I use and reuse for like painting. I have an old mug that was never good to drink tea out of, so I made it into my water thing for painting. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that we are capable of coming up with some really cool and really new ideas, whether that's through artwork in our imagination, sketching something up that might seem just fanciful, but maybe it inspires somebody else to go out and try and invent something similar. I know that from reading books like Jules Verne's Adventures, we've had people inspired to study that in science, study undersea submarine stuff and spaceships and ways to travel around the world faster and better. And I think that that is something that's kind of cool about Earth Days every day, that we can do little things like that. No matter how old we are and who we are and where we are, we can put our ideas down, we can talk about our ideas, and we can make a difference. Are you ready to sign off?
Yeah.
Miss Rainbows? Okay, well, let me first show you Miss Rainbow's picture of her Bug Fables map. And I'll show my artwork too. Dude, there it is. Oh, hi. We're up in the corner.
Hey.
I forgot that I had a camera up in the corner. So, Earth Days every day. Make sure that when you create that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to explore and create and redraw and fill up all those pages. Don't forget to flip them over and try on the other side. Like my checklists, I put on both sides. Recycle where you can. And
Reuse, reduce, recycle.
that's right, the 3 R's. And reuse things. Always try and find ways to reuse things in safe and healthy ways. Thanks for watching Draw With Me Kids, episode 101, Every Day's Earth Day. We hope you guys got some super cool tips about what you can do to reuse some of the objects in your house as tools for your artwork. And a couple tips we do in order to make sure we reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
And don't forget
To like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and share the video with all your friends. That way, nobody misses Draw With Me Kids edition ever again.
Whoa! We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Bye.